major breaking news that will be heard first around the world here at InfoWars. During my testimony, when I said I did not believe that the Russians had hacked the DNC, and I cited the fact that the DNC had refused to turn over their servers for examination to the FBI, both Congresswoman Spear and Congressman Schiff objected and said that, in fact, the DNC had turned over their server. Now, in fact, it was pointed out by Trey Gowdy, the Republican member, that both FBI Director Comey and Homeland Security Secretary Johnson came before this very committee and testified that the DNC had not turned over their server to the FBI. So, Alex, somebody's lying, and we need to get to the bottom of who that somebody is.
Out right now, Roger Stone. Just talked to the House Intelligence Committee.
We had a very spirited exchange. I had the opportunity to correct the record with Congressman Schiff and Congresswoman Spear, as well as Congressman Swalwell. They conducted themselves in a polite and collegial way, but they continue to insist that the Russians hacked the DNC. They actively disputed the notion published in The Nation. Now, this is very key, because here is the takeaway. The FBI director, Mr. Comey, and the Secretary of Homeland Security, Mr. Johnson, both testified for this committee that the DNC did not allow the FBI to examine their servers. Mr. Schiff intimated today that that was not the case and claimed that the DNC servers had been turned over to the FBI. We've got to get to the bottom of that. Infowars.com is the first place on the planet where you can learn that factoid.
Did the name Seth Rich come up at all?
It did not.
Okay.
That is the news.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we're joined by Roger Stone live right now. We have the entire press conference unedited being uploaded right now. It was in the basement, so we couldn't get our wireless transmission out. National television had some of the excerpts and some of it live, but we're going to give you all of that, plus the exclusive transcript of his testimony and the exclusive video of him reading the transcript before he went in. So that is all exclusive on drudgereport.com, via Infowars.com, and newswars.com. But the whole Russia investigation is now officially imploded. They have now officially said that I'm not under investigation and am not connected to Russia. They've come out and admitted that Drudge wasn't involved and shot down Democrats' further calls for criminal investigations. What it is bullying, saying Alex Jones didn't kick our butt. Donald Trump didn't kick our butt politically in the arena of ideas. No, the Russians did it. You had the whole Hollywood system, everything but the kitchen sink thrown at the American resurgence movement. That's the opposite of racist. It's free market. It's beautiful. It's bold. And they failed. So they want to bring in authoritarianism, claiming we're the outside force, when they're the globalist protesting the flag, trying to overthrow our borders and get rid of our sovereignty. They're the foreign power. They're the multinationals. They're the enemy. They're the establishment. They're the opposition to us, the resistance. And they love playing games with words and trying to tell you they control words and control meaning. We're not under your cult anymore. And it's not because we're scared of your big fancy words. You don't even know those words. You read off teleprompters. We are the future. We are the cutting edge. We are Americana. We are the Renaissance. We're the real liberals, not you. You want to use those terms. That's why they want to get rid of Thomas Jefferson, because it was the revolutionary idea that he didn't realize in his lifetime, but was realized later. It's called being a visionary. Now, joining us is Roger Stone. Then I'm going to get into these incredible NFL clips the booing of the Cowboys, all of it. As Ron Paul just said, boycott's the answer. It's cultural, Marxist, Saul Alinsky horse crap. And it is blowing up in their stinking faces. So get that video out. We're going to get that out in the next 30 minutes to Infowars.com as well, because this is not a spectator sport, the fight against the globalists. This is information warfare. And our weapon is the truth. Our credibility is the truth. And that's why they attack it, because they know we told you about the NSA spy grid first. They know that we told you about how Trump was way ahead in the polls first. And we told you he'd win. And we told you everything, because it's all there. We told you the Communist Chinese fund Viacom and Communist Central. You can watch it and see all the commie worship. Coming up, Alex Jones doesn't like China, but we do. Because you know we get down on our knees every day in front of the communist dictators. And you know what we do, don't you? Yes, you know, don't we? What trash? What idiots? You're going to be just like the NFL. I love it. So twist all you want, just like Megyn Kelly had the worst ratings ever for the new show she took over. All the critics say she bombed. The new Comedy Central show bombed. And a lot of folks at Comedy Central behind the scenes said, be nice. You know, come on. This is years ago. Play ball with us. And I said, I don't want to play ball with you. I don't want to come on and act stupid and play into your part so I can be a court jester, geek, clown, you know, like poor midgets on Howard Stern. That's not who I am. I want to destroy you because you want to destroy us in America. You understand that? We're never going to stop. We're never going to give in. We're never going to back down. We understand it. We don't read off teleprompters. We don't run around telling you how intellectual we are all day and you know, telling folks that we don't understand language or any of this garbage. It's crazy. We're changing the future. We're making the world better. We're winning. You're losing. All of you are jokes. Well, Alex, don't bash some show that's based about you and plugs you every day. I don't care. I don't go to NFL games. I don't want to go to Hollywood. I don't want to go to A-list parties or fly off on private jets to the Caribbean and, you know, sit there with empty-headed morons. Understand that? I'm here to burn you down. I'm here to rout you out, and I'm going to do it. And I mean that information warfare-wise. Roger Stone, you just came out of the big House Intelligence Committee hearing with Lord Schiff, the great perpetrator of BS and buffoonery. And we've got the exclusive video of what you testified inside to up on Infowars.com. Tell us what happened.
Well, Alex, major breaking news that will be heard first around the world here at Infowars. During my testimony, when I said I did not believe that the Russians had hacked the DNC, and I cited the fact that the DNC had refused to turn over their servers for examination to the FBI. Both Congresswoman Spear and Congressman Schiff objected and said that, in fact, the DNC had turned over their server. Now, in fact, it was pointed out by Trey Gowdy, the Republican member, that both FBI Director Comey and Homeland Security Secretary Johnson came before this very committee and testified that the DNC had not turned over their server to the FBI. So, Alex, somebody's lying, and we need to get to the bottom of who that somebody is.
Somebody's committing perjury in Camelot.
Certainly appears that way, although what's interesting is I have just learned, as the witness, I am subject to the laws regarding perjury, but as the questioners, if they lie, well, there's no penalty for that. I corrected the record. I made it very clear that there was no collusion by Donald Trump, the Trump campaign, the Trump family, the Trump friends, the Trump associates, certainly nobody at InfoWars with the Russian state. I also made it clear that I did not know about the hacking of John Podesta's email in advance, contrary to what Congressman Schiff said, that I have never worked for the Russian state, contrary to what Congresswoman Spire had said, and that I had only confirmed what Julian Assange himself had tweeted on July 21st.
Sure, we all understand that. So I've seen your prepared text. How was Schiff and the other Legion of Doom members acting towards you? Because they always have this fake bravado on television. How are they acting behind the scenes?
They were weasels. Schiff was particularly a weasel. They were attempting to set several perjury traps. They were unsuccessful. They read back to me a number of my commentaries on Infowars.com, trying to twist them to say that they said something they didn't. So when I said on Infowars that I had been in communications with Assange, I also made it clear on Infowars that that communications was indirect through an intermediary.
But the New York Times was talking to him at the same time. You're allowed to talk to people.
Exactly the point.
Assange isn't a Russian agent.
They also asked me if I had ever posted and then deleted a tweet. I didn't recall that I had. And then they showed me a tweet in which I had called some woman out, pointing out that communications with Assange would be perfectly legal, and then had subsequently deleted that because I had called her a stupid word that rhymes with witch. And I thought better of it after I had posted it. Innocuous, benign.
Well, I delete tweets all the time when I'm like sending a tweet at a red light, and then I notice I sent the wrong word out. I mean, I delete them all the time.
Or that you misspell something. Of course it happens. But be careful, Alex. They may haul you before the committee to explain your deleted tweets.
Well, I think it's fair to say this whole Russiagate's winding down. You predicted that 6 months ago. They would then segue into financial crimes, which they've basically admitted to. So what's the next shoe to drop?
You know, it's very hard to say. They, of course, asked many questions about Paul Manafort. They asked many questions about conversations that I've had with the president, which I declined to characterize to their chagrin. It's not clear where they think they're going, but we're going to have to resolve whether or not the DNC was hacked at all, never mind hacked by the Russians. And now suddenly the Democrats are claiming they did turn over the server to the FBI. That's just a serious discrepancy in the public record.
Well, Roger, another chapter is now opening, and it's the battle for the Republican Party centered around this runoff for the nomination there in Alabama for the Senate seat of the now Attorney General Jeff Sessions. We have Bannon charging around, exposing that the establishment is backing Mr. Strange. Give us your approximation as a political operative on what's going on in Trumplandia. Is he still keeping the faith?
Well, I am completely at one with Steve Bannon. We are both supporting the same candidate, former Judge Roy Moore. Roy Moore, ironically, will be more loyal to the Trump agenda than the candidate the president has been conned into supporting. That would be Luther Strange. So things are kind of backwards there, but a victory for Moore will be a victory for the Trump agenda, while a defeat for Strange will unfortunately be a defeat for the president, because I believe, as Steve does, the president was conned into supporting the establishment Republican candidate.
So this is what we're supposed to do, keep them honest, take over the Republican Party in the internal documents of the Republican and Democratic parties, as you know, back during the last campaign. The greatest fear is a libertarian insurrection, an Americana Christian insurrection, those three groups together, all taking the Republican Party over. And we're doing it, and they're scared, and I don't know how long the Republican establishment, the Mitch McConnells, the Paul Ryans, can hang on by their dear lives. And that's why President Trump should get behind this political move, and I mean their political lives, to go ahead and sweep them out and finally get the real trifecta in Congress. But I'm told the generals, and they even said this in the news, are hopping mad. Why are they involved in domestic stuff? Telling Bannon, shut your mouth, go away. No, InfoWars, Breitbart. Drudge Report, the Liberty Movement. The American people brought Trump in, and we're not going to just crawl off in the shadows now while you join with a bunch of blue blood trash and rape this country. Go ahead, Roger.
I could not agree more, Alex. The truth is that if you love Donald Trump and the Trump Revolution and you live in Alabama, you should vote for Roy Moore, not the candidate the president got. And
you were saying that you were on the air months before Trump endorsed him, trying to get Trump. Were you ever able? I know it's always limited, the stuff you get to talk about with him or others do, to say, early on, I remember talking to you saying, as soon as the president calls me, I don't know if we can get into this, I'm going to really push, Judge Moore, not this Strange, and then just, I guess you didn't get the word to him, or it wasn't enough, or what happened?
Well, I made the case, in all honesty, like Ronald Reagan. He had two options. One was to endorse no one. That's what every Republican president in my lifetime has done in statewide primaries, and then campaign for the nominee. Or here was a golden opportunity in a special election to send a message to Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan and the country club Republicans who've been knifing Donald Trump in the back that we're not going to take their crap anymore. He should have endorsed.
And instead, he gave them what they want, and then a month later, Mitch McConnell wouldn't even return his phone calls, an arrogant piece of trash.
No question. And what's the guarantee that Senator Strange will stand with us on Obama?
Well, by the way, they now admit that Trump's giving Strange very half-hearted endorsements and is really sabotaging him. So, I mean, does Trump know the error of his ways now?
I think he's figured it out. But the moral of the story is, don't take political advice from your liberal Democratic son-in-law, Jared Kushner, because that's who recommended the endorsement of Mitch McConnell's running dog lackey candidate, Luther Strange.
All right. Infowars.com, Roger Stone, StoneColdTruth.com. More exclusives coming. Let you get some lunch and some rest now, and we'll talk later coming up on The War Room that you co-host with Owen Schroyer, coming up today, 3 o'clock Central in about 2 hours. Thank you.
God bless you, Eric. Pardon me. God bless you, Alex, and victory or death.
Hey, we're teleprompter free. My new name is Eric Jones. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. Victory or death. There he goes.
What the aging process is when the cell replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres. Telomeres are the little cups on the end of our chromosomes.
And when it runs out, you start dying. Secure your DNA force today at InfoWarsLife.com.